it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior Live. I'll be your host today. Please put in the chat where you're from and who you are. When we start reviewing the news articles, if you want to look at our Facebook page, just click here and you can follow the articles along as we go. See you in a moment. Good morning. I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior Live. This is July 13th, and Prime Days have now finished. This morning, we are going to spill the beans on all that useless junk we bought yesterday for the past 2 days, and you'll be surprised on what our panel is going to tell you today. You know, as you get older, you get wiser, right? So anyway, we'll find out who was wise and who wasn't in a few moments, but Prime Day has now finished. So we're here to talk about tech news. That's what we talk about on Thursday, tech news of the week. This is, now who are we? Well, we're a group of seniors who like to talk about things, and we have a show on Monday called Tech for Senior. We're in our 4th year now, Huey? 4 years? And 100 episode coming up, 172, which Huey, of course, will be hosting next Monday. So that's who we are. But we also like to do this tech show on Thursday because we get to review all the news of the week. And that's always a lot of fun. And we have some great articles to go over today. For those of you who are listening, thank you for coming. For those of you who are we broadcast this out on StreamYard to YouTube and to Facebook, but our Monday show is a Zoom meeting. So I see a few of you logged on to Zoom already this morning. We're not there, right? So we're over here because we broadcast this out to YouTube and to our Facebook page. So I'm going to just show you, if you want to find out how to join, www.techforsenior.com is our website, and there's a big button there that will take you right to the right place. So that's how you get to our current show. And we do record this. I didn't say tape. You guys give me a hard time when I say tape. Yep, I said, but I am learning. So we do record this, and this will be available for later replay. And we'll have, of course, it's as our Sunday show, or as our Monday show is as well. We of course are good friends, and we've been talking for an hour before the show started. So but we have no idea if anyone's out there is listening to us. So if you would be so kind as to put your name, where you're from, any questions, and let us know what useless stuff you bought on Prime Days. Fess up. You know, this is where we're bearing our souls, and tell us what we bought. And we'll be happy to talk about that. We have, and I'll be introducing our esteemed panel. Actually, the same old guys that were here last week, right, and the week before. But
last year.
I'll introduce them as well. They're really a great team, and we're here to talk about all the great tech news of the week. So anyway, that's where you can find www.techforsenior.com. Let me introduce, we'll introduce. I'm Ron Brown. I, of course, I got to tell you, there was an article this morning, and someone put it on our Tech for Senior page, on our Facebook page. Did you know that a certain island off the west coast of Vancouver was voted in as one of the top 21 places one of the most 21 beautiful places in the world to live. And I'm not going to mention any names, and I don't know how that got posted on that our Facebook page. I have no idea how I did that, but it is going to come up. And that's where I'm from.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, what a coincidence. Isn't that
wow? Who would have thunk?
Who would have thought that happened? I have no idea how that happened, but anyway, so that's where I'm from. Huey, tell us where you're from.
I'm in Bradenton, which is just north of Sarasota, and Sarasota was probably on that list.
Oh, was it? Okay, maybe you were.
I don't know. I'm saying maybe it probably was.
I didn't look.
I have to go back and look at the list.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have to go over the list then. All right. How's your week going? You had a good week?
Yes, absolutely. Fun and games. Lots of new stuff happening as usual.
Right.
So I'm trying to keep up with all of it.
Right.
I added a couple of more newsletters on AI to my list, and I'm trying to, it's not as much as it was. It's more centered into certain features and certain things that I don't care about. I'm not interested in business and interviewing new employees and that sort of thing. And that's what a lot of the AI stuff now is. It's honing in on certain aspects of business. And of course, I'm not in the business world anymore.
So I should have mentioned that Huey and I, of course, are co-hosts for our Monday show. We've been doing it now for 4 years. This is our 100 and what did I say? 100 and
we're going to be at 172.
172, Monday. Right? 172 on Monday, and so we're having a lot of fun with that. So that's great. And of course, our next guest has been with us right from the start. In fact, he saves our bacon many times. He's our security expert and keeps the bad guys out and the good guys in. He also is a very nice fella. He writes a lot. He's very knowledgeable on Thursday to help us out with Bob Gostisha from Los Lunas, New Mexico.
Hopefully that wasn't me breaking up, but you. Thank you for the nice introduction.
Oh, was I breaking up?
Yes.
Yep.
It only seems to happen when you're introducing Bob, though.
Yes,
Have you noticed that, Bob?
Well, it's a long way.
I'm getting an inferiority complex somehow.
It's a long way to New Mexico. Do I have to shout to get there? Anyway, how'd your week go? Are you okay?
Yeah, very good. Very good. The festivities are over. My daughter is now 60 plus. So now we only have one more to go to wait for her to become a senior. And then I'll have all 4 of my girls. But that will take a while. The last one is 7 years younger. Obviously, we thought we had things all figured out.
There you go. Well, we still have all our family here, and that'll be for another couple of weeks. And I'll tell you, I don't know if I'm sure I'm not going to make it till the end of the month. This is really the energy on kids and grandkids, and oh my gosh, it's just unbelievable. Anyway, you know all about that, Bob.
Yes, I meant to ask you that video that I did, the child story. Did you ever show that to one of the younger kids?
Yes. No, I didn't, but I should. I watched that.
Yeah, I kind of like to know what their reaction is. You know, what we think really doesn't matter when it comes to kids' stories. What do they think?
Exactly. I'll do that. And of course, the man who I'm going to introduce now is I usually talk about him, but I'm going to talk about where he's from, because on the CBC National News last night, there was a big section on 2 parts, and they both had to do with where Ray's from. And the first part, of course, is the heat in Phoenix, which is like crazy this week, but Ray's up in Pine, Arizona. But it is unbelievably hot in in Phoenix. But also the other interesting thing was valley fever, and they did a whole expose on valley fever, which of course is caused by a fungus, and it's moving north. It's going up because of the changing climates. Valley fever and this fungus that occurs in the soil is spreading north into the United States, into the upper states, and is a common problem. And I know that two of my close friends that I lived with in Arizona got valley fever as well. So it is a common. Is it common up in Pine, Arizona as well? Or is it more down in the valley there?
Yeah, definitely down in the valley. I don't know anybody up in this area.
Up in the area, yeah.
They could have, but it's not prevalent up here at all.
So Ray Baxter is our music director of our Monday show. He's a great guy. Really does a lot of work with music and does some great selections for us. But I thought I just wanted to talk a little bit about something different today. And welcome, Ray.
Good, thank you. And you've prompted my memory there with talking about your town being on that list. The reason I'm living where I am basically was a Red Book magazine back in the mid 90s or early 90s had a list of the 10 best places in America to retire to.
Oh, really? Okay.
And not Pine, but the nearest larger town by me, Payson, was on that list. So that's what prompted me to look at Payson, and that's why I'm here today.
Yeah, well, we go through Payson. We've been through Payson a lot. Do I go through Pine or Pine? Do you have to go off?
You take the 87 all the way up to Winslow when you were here?
Yeah.
And you pass through Pine every time.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
Okay. All right. There you go.
I used to spend a month each year in Payson when I was in Arizona doing the presentations. So,
yep.
That's a nice place. Lots of new. It's a very new. They've got nice new roads and everything. It's really, really a very lovely place.
But it's
all right. Does it have a Costco, Ray?
Yep.
We're lucky we have a Walmart.
But Payson, does Payson have a Costco?
No, Payson is the big town nearby us. 15,000 people.
Like Phoenix, it's part of the Metroplex.
Yeah, no. Payson is about 18 miles from where I live. It's about 100 miles.
Yeah, up by you. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only big store up here, we have a Home Depot and we have a Walmart. That's it.
Okay. Huey, there looks like there's a lot of people listening to us today.
Yeah, and some of them are watching us too.
Yeah.
Very good, Huey. Very good.
Murray from Victoria. Good morning from sunny Victoria. It promises to be. It is a beautiful day for sure, Murray. Don't tell anybody about the article, eh?
Yeah.
Murray lives in Victoria, which is on the island. It was probably Murray that put it on our Facebook page. It wasn't me, eh?
Oh,
so
no.
Jolyn says, greeting from low country of South Carolina. A few billowy clouds, 89 degrees, tiny breeze. Glad I'm in the AC. Yes. Gerald Smith says west. Jolyn says, greetings from the Facebook side. Oh, she's over on Facebook. Oh,
both
cool.
Yeah, she's on both. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. She's logged in twice. Well, click the like twice. Hey,
she did.
Yeah. Liz says, hi from Ohio, 86 degrees. Bernard, Sterling Heights Computer Club in Detroit, Michigan, where I suspect it's probably hot. Jolyn says, hi, Liz Milford and Murray Strom. Gerald says, West Seattle, 59 degrees in Seattle. How come you're so cold? It will be sunny and warm today. I bought some SSD drives on Prime Day for my old laptops, and I'm converting them to Linux. Now, there's a progressive guy, eh? Wow, that's cool. Great. Jolyn says, and Gerald Smith. Richard Clarkson, good morning, 78. And now we'll go up to 95 later on. Richard, you must have bought something on Prime Days. Fess up. Let us know what you bought. Mike Ungerman. Hey, Mike, I got some interesting articles to talk about today. I'm going to mention you. Amazon Prime Days going broke saving. But Mike, I got it. We got a good article I want to talk about. So be sure and stay on. That's good. Yeah. Bernard says, I bought nothing. What? What? Bob says, Bellevue, Washington, 63s may get up to 80. Richard, got a new phone, charger and case, saved $300. There you go. What phone did you get? Linda says, greetings from partly cloudy Fort Myers, 94 degrees, 96 with 30% chance of showers. We haven't had rain since May. That's on the island here. Like you and Jolin, I'm fortunate to be in AC. Clark says 85 degrees, now heading to 94. Trenton, New Jersey, high humidity. Mike Eggerman broke down and finally got a Shark robotic vacuum, saved 50%. Yay! He's now in our club, eh? He's now got
Yep.
he's now we'll put him in our because Bob and Huey and I were robotic vacuum guys. We really like them, and Mike now can join the fraternity. Ray, you're an outsider, right?
I'm a holdout.
You're old. Okay. Geeks on Tour, I bought nothing on. Now, I do not believe that, Jim. Come on. You didn't buy anything. You're geeks. You got to have bought something.
Sometimes you have everything already.
Well, you still buy something. It's Amazon Prime Days. What the heck? Murray Strom says, I don't really know if I need a 16 terabyte hard drive for $293 tax Canadian. Why not? It's a good deal. Murray says, or the Jupe Cheese in 5-in-1 memory card. Goes on and on and on and on. I bought.
But he bought them.
You bought all those? You might have even outbought me. I don't know about that. I like it, Murray. Good one. Geeks on Tour. We're in sunny South Florida. Well, of course you are. We know. Oh, you're not traveling, so we know where you are. John said, I couldn't wait till Prime Day. Pulled the trigger on 17.3 HP Touch AMD Ryzen, 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD. Decent deal. Even if it was a day early, I got it Tuesday before everybody else, before all the shipping problem. Yes. Vale. Now Vale must have bought something. Vale's my old computer buddy that we fix computers in at Silveridge in Arizona. You got to have bought something on Prime Days. He's in Golden, Colorado, 89 degrees. Prime Day devoted to a new amateur radio for my hobby. Oh, okay. So you did. Okay, that's cool. Gary, hello. Oh, George, right. Hello, George from Victoria. Nothing from Amazon, but tiles, Android AirTags, and another desktop that I don't need with stranger power connectors on motherboard. It's George is a real techie guy, and we know him. He's on the show every Monday, and so he's got the bug. You know, he's for sure a techie guy. Kirkland, see Powell from Kirkland, Washington. Murray says, where is the list that Ron talked about? The list that I bought? Well, I'll talk about that in a minute.
No, I think he's talking about the list of places to live.
Oh, it's on our Facebook page. You'll see it today. Geeks on Tour, AI definition, arthritic inflammation.
That's what AI stands for.
Richard Clarkson, Jolin Bowler, please put the model, etc. in the chat. Dick Vogel, I didn't find any Prime deals that I need. Well, you didn't look hard enough. You didn't look hard enough. Jolin says, just a sec, Richard. Okay. Okay.
They're having a conversation.
Yeah. Let's flip through those.
Murray has his fingers on the wrong keys.
I think so.
Yeah.
Mike says, Dick Vogel. Yep. We're all friends. So everyone listening knows each other. Geeks on Tour. Son just showed up. Got to go. Okay. Great. Jolin said, Richard, I'm really glad that I thought it when I did. They were sold out. Here's the link to it. There you go. All right. There we go.
There's still a couple more. Sorry about that.
Richard. Okay, Jolin. Sally said, I did not buy anything on Prime. Sally, really? John, I apologize for putting this in the chat. I should have messaged Richard. I don't see the link in the chat. Okay. Olive, cousin, good morning, Ron, from the WV. What's WV?
West Virginia.
West Virginia of Oregon.
No.
I got an S30. Oh, Richard did. Oh, he got an S32 plus. Oh,
23.
S23, yeah. Yeah, Samsung S23 Plus. Now that's a nice one. Steve said, was tempted to get a Samsung 8 TB SSD. That's a heck of a big. That's
Yeah, I like
amazing.
his last comment.
Saved hundreds of dollars by buying it.
By not buying
By
it.
not buying it. Oh,
Yes, it's good. Nice going, Steve.
oh, come on.
You
All
don't
right, I'll-
save money when you buy things. You save money when you don't buy.
well,
I
all right.
keep
I'm
trying
gonna,
to convince my wife of that. She doesn't want to listen.
I'm helping
So-
the economy.
I'm
Very
just
good.
helping the economy,
Very
right?
good. I like that.
All right. So, all right. So, what did I buy? Well, I'm going to fess up, and I did buy a couple of things that I didn't need, but I rationalized it, so I did. Okay. here's-
Humans are so good at that.
I know. So this was a Sennheiser. This was a headphones, and I thought I needed a new set. And these were $329 regular. I don't think they really were. A deal of the day was $230 off, and they came out at about, I think it was $90 plus taxes for a $329.95 set of Sennheiser earphones. And that's what they look like. And so I sort of needed those because I was going to use them for my Chromebook, but I really have another set, but this would be nicer. So there was a bit of rationalizing, and it was only $90. And I need to buy something for the show today, right? I had to buy something. All right, that's the first thing I bought. And the second thing I bought is I bought a now I have a Vitamix blender, but it's, but I have to get it out, and you got to clean it and all that sort of stuff. So NutriBullet Pro, this was sort of cool. I've always wanted one of these, and it was 41% off, so I got it for $64. So those were my two. But did I really need them? Probably not. So really, it was. But I bought them for the show, right? I thought I had to have something today to talk about. That's my rationale.
You can
So
rationalize anything, Ron.
So Huey, what did you buy?
Well, the prime driver was going to drive by my house, and he slowed down, shrugged his shoulders, and moved on. So I didn't buy anything. They couldn't figure it out.
You didn't buy anything. You were a wise
I didn't
man.
buy a thing. I had a couple of things that I wanted. They weren't on special, and so I decided just not to buy anything. I didn't need anything. In fact, I was going to try to sell a few things back to them at a reduced rate.
Bob, what you must have bought something.
I bought nothing. I saved lots of money. I looked at a lot of things, and then I said, but I already got those. What do I need another one for?
Right. You
And
could have used another vacuum, couldn't you? Given one
No,
more.
no,
to your
no,
kids.
no. I've now supplied all my kids. I started on the grandkids. That's enough.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Ray, help me out here. You've got to have bought something. Come on.
You may find this hard to believe, Ron, but I know people that don't need anything on Prime Day, but will go and buy it anyway, just so they can save money on something that they don't need. I don't know. I don't know if you know anybody
I'll
like
put
that.
my hand up.
I saw a new dentist last month, and he suggested that I start using a water pick.
Oh,
So
okay.
yesterday I purchased a water pick, not a brand name, but I got it at half price, and it'll be here in a couple of days. So that was something that my dentist told me I needed. I said, okay, he says I need it. I guess I do.
There you go. There you go. A practical health-related product, right?
Yep.
So there you go. So you've got me a bit crazy. You've got two wise men that didn't buy anything, which is probably the best thing to do. And then of course we've got Ray, who's also very practical and bought something that is definitely health related. So that's good. So I think aside from me, we probably did okay. Now just remember, you guys watched the video I made about Prime on Monday about shopping on Prime. What did I say at the first part of the video? I said, save your money and don't buy it if you don't need it. That was put that right in there as a disclaimer right at the beginning. Of the
Ron, do you take your own advice?
video. No, I don't. No, I don't. All right, let's get on with some articles.
But before you do, I didn't buy anything, but I did return something to a company called Temu. Lots of people buy from Temu, even though they collect lots of information if you have their app. Okay. But I returned something and then I got a notice back, credit issued, don't send it to us. They
Wow.
didn't want it back. So I made somebody very happy and I said, Here, I don't want this. Do you? And it was a smartwatch.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
They'll have to
There you go.
figure out how to use it because I wasn't willing to install the app because I got a warning when I tried to install the app. You know, if you want to give up your whole family's
Oh,
information,
really? Oh,
install it.
really?
Yeah. Google actually came out with a warning on that app because it
Oh,
wasn't only
interesting.
for the watch. It wanted you name your history and it was collecting it and sending it, of course, right to China. So, no, I didn't really want it. And I told the person I gave it to, just remember, you're giving up your whole family history when you install the app. And without the app, you'll never figure out how to use this watch.
All right. Okay. The first story I want to talk about was this one, and this was an article that came out this week. Microsoft and Amazon just opened the floodgates for Android apps on Windows. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen this article, and I sort of thought yesterday I was going to dive into this because I knew the show was coming on today. And interesting, Bob filled me in on this morning. But so here's what happened. I thought, well, okay, I'm going to see how this works. So I go to my Windows 11 machine. First of all, you have to hit virtualization. You have to hit a couple of different systems that you've got to install, which you have to reboot your computer and then installs. And that was stressful because I thought, what's going on with my machine? And then you also have to go into the BIOS and change the BIOS so that virtualization works. Now, I did not do that. That was a little bit above my stress level. But I thought then the third thing you had to do was you had to go to the Windows store and you had to install the Windows and Amazon app that was going to allow you to put Android apps onto your Windows 11 machine. And in that process, there was also another bunch of stuff that was a subsystem that was going to install as well. And that's when I bailed because I thought this is getting way above my head and I don't really want to run Android apps on my Windows machine anyway. I was just doing this for the show so I could say, hey, I did it. I'm really smart. But I bailed on this. And what Bob was saying, I guess the subsystem they were going to install is really Linux. How this all works is they're installing Linux on Windows and running your Android apps in Linux. So I guess my question is, has anyone done this? Like, I mean, if you're listening and you have a Windows computer and you have Windows 11 and you're doing this, and tell us why you're doing it, because it's interesting, but really, what is an Android app that you really want to run on Windows 11, right? Do you guys have any comments on that? Do you
Basically, because it's the Samsung store, not the Android store.
It's not the
and
Samsung.
I mean the
Amazon
Amazon store.
I'm sorry,
Amazon
Samsung,
Right, yeah.
right?
Yep.
And I have
Amazon
nothing from Samsung except my TV. So
Right. Huey, did you try? You said
Yeah,
you went down
I did exactly what you did. I got so far and I said, this
You
is not
bailed.
what I want to do.
Right.
I'm not going to learn how to do this and try to explain it to anybody. If they want to do it really badly, they will do it. But
Right.
anybody else, I wouldn't advise them to do it.
Yeah.
almost like side loading something. And my advice always is if it gets that complicated, you don't really need it.
Exactly.
If
All
they
right.
make it simple, we'll all install it. Until they do that, we don't need it.
I thought it would just be a button that you clicked and it would just take you there and it would just boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
yeah, just
like
install it, yeah.
Chromebooks. Like Chromebooks, it's easy, right? It just happens. But anyway, so okay. If anyone's out there listening, if you could let us know if you did it and what are you running that's so important that you want an Android app on your Windows 11 machine. So that'd be great. just because we're running out of time quickly, this was data breach by two popular Android apps to China. Two Android apps were found to be leaking user data, and this they were file management apps. And you can look at them. They're on our website, and you can look. I'm not going to go into those in great detail, but this is a common. We see this not uncommonly, Bob. You talk about this all the time.
Yeah, that's why you have to be careful. And in this case, unfortunately, even their disclosure was misleading because they said they collected nothing and they collect your whole
Everything.
history and
Just-
pass it along. Right.
Just like your watch, the app on your
You
watch.
got it. You got it.
Bottom, only download apps from reputable companies.
But this came from, this was an app that you got directly from the store. Okay. But it hadn't been totally vetted. It no longer exists on the store. It's been removed. But if you're one of the people that install this on your phone, make sure you get rid of it.
All right, we got to move on. Bob, Huey, anything before we get going on our articles? Any?
Yeah.
Mike says I uninstalled the app that came with my Chinese cheap watch, just using it for time and fitness apps. Don't connect to my phone, right?
Okay.
That's it. Okay, let's get on with our articles. Let me go to settings. No, that's not what I want. Go to, there we go, and we will provide.
And don't forget to refresh.
Oh, someone's been sneaking the article.
No, nobody ever sneaks anything in.
All right, hold on. Let me just refresh here. For those of you who are wondering, you can follow along with us on our Facebook page. This is the link, and you can follow the articles. Let me just get bigger for us here. Hide this. Okay. Let's see here. No. Okay. Let's see if we can get this a little bit bigger. All right. Who got the first? Let's come up. Tech for who? Oh, I'm
It
not.
was me.
Hold
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
no, it
Okay.
was-
Let me just. I just want to log in with my right account here, and then I can see who's posting these. All right, we got them up. We come down. Who got the first article here? Is that Bob?
No, Huey.
No, you got to go farther.
Further?
Keep going. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here,
There
you
you go.
got the first one.
Yeah, I did a while. You were talking about
The
the
best
best-
places to live in the U.S.
Wow.
you said Canada, so I looked at the
I
article.
know. I said Vancouver Island.
Yeah, but I'm saying the article was on the best places to live in.
No, I think
Canada.
you said best places in the world.
In the world.
Yep.
Oh,
You'll
in
come
the
to the
world,
article.
yeah.
All right.
So I found the one for U.S. and Sarasota is listed there. So
All right.
I just had to
Okay.
put that up there.
All right. Mike. Okay. Ray, as usual, your Microsoft $2 billion AI part. What?
Okay, let me. So Microsoft has invested $2 billion in an AI partnership with KPMG. So KPMG is a major player in the corporate audit business, focusing on tax-related issues. And they're going to, as I said, $2 billion over the next 5 years with Microsoft to develop cloud and generative AI tools. And this includes training all of the KPMG staff. How much staff? 256,000 global employees on how to use AI to their advantage. So this decision is in line with other major companies across all industries embracing the capabilities of AI. So the thought before about, well, we have to go really slow with AI, not happening.
Okay. Music. Oh, lots of people listening, eh?
Well, music streams for 2023 have hit 1 trillion so far, 1 trillion with a T in the first 3 months of the year. And that's faster than in 2022 when they didn't hit that. It took 4 months to hit that same mark. Now, what is driving this? non-English language music. And,
Oh,
primarily Spanish and Korean. And Korean is referred to as K-pop music. Now, the biggest one, the most streamed singer, and that's a picture of him there, is named, ready for this? Bad Bunny. And Bad Bunny is a Puerto Rican rap artist. And his songs had more than, just this one artist, he had more than 18.5 billion streams.
Wow.
In 2022. So I did a quick calculation. Basically, a stream is worth 1/3 of a cent. So if he had that many streams, 18.5 billion, that means last year his earnings were $59,200,000. So
oh my gosh,
us guys, we're in the wrong business. We
we
should be
are.
a rap group.
We are. Wow. Bob.
Yes, unlocking online privacy. Protect yourself and take control now. This is a short. And if you look at the notes, you'll see that it leads you to the long video on that topic. So if you value your privacy, it's something worth looking at.
Thanks, Bob. Ray, Bill Gates.
Right. It's nice to hear a tech leader saying not to be afraid of AI, because we've had so many scares, say, from some of the other big names. So this leader in the AI says AI can be positive as long as there are safeguards. And he attributes them to like what we have, speed limits and seatbelts. And basically he predicts that all the problems that some say are associated with this new technology, he says they're all going to be solved.
Good news. Good news.
I think so.
Is before you go from that, is that a devil's horn coming out of his head?
I can't see that.
Oh, isn't
Oh, I
that
see. Very good. Yui, I never noticed that. Very good.
Funny
Oh.
part is I said about the same thing more than a month ago.
Yep.
I guarantee
we
you
all
he's
did,
got
yeah.
a lot more in 5 minutes as far as replies and stuff than I did in the whole month.
This is an article that Ray that we've all posted. This was a big news item. Do you want to go over that?
Well, yeah, this is it where Intel is. They originally came out probably a decade ago with the NUC line. And what did NUC stand for? Next Unit of Computing. And this was mini computers. But they've now decided that they're no longer going to be selling this small form factor PC, but they're going to pivot their strategy and enable partners to continue the NUC innovation and growth. And they're going to continue to support all the products that they've put on the market already, though. So they're not going to shy away from that. And as you know, I purchased not a NUC, but another type of mini PC a couple of months ago. I came with Windows 11 Pro, an i5 processor, 16 gig of RAM, 500 M.2 hard drive, or SSD, I should say, and just over $300. And I'm now using it as my Plex server, and so far it's working great.
Huey has a
Yeah,
NUC.
I bought one of the original NUCs and used it to the point where it just wasn't powerful enough for me. And I bought one of the ones that a company online manufactured or actually put together. It was still using the Intel motherboard in it, but it wasn't branded as Intel. And I'm still using it. I have had it about 3 years now, and I've got 64 gigs of RAM and a 4 terabyte SSD card in it. And I love it.
Yep. So we've talked
And it
a
hangs
lot
on the
about
back
that
of my
on
monitor. Yeah.
that on the
I
show.
can see these replacing towers. People have a choice of
Yes.
this or tower. This is the way to go.
Also, I keep mentioning, like, a lot of people keep buying laptops. They put them on their desk and don't move them for 3 or 4. They never
Yeah.
move them, right? You don't need a laptop.
No.
Get a NUC, get a PC,
Get a
get
mini-
something you don't
get a
pay
mini
for the
PC
battery.
and then a big 32-inch monitor, and you're set to go.
Yeah, yeah. And for those of you, of course, Huey and I do Chrome. We do a learning Chromebooks. We do Chromebooks once a month. A Chrome box is the same idea, where you don't it's the same idea as a NUC, but it's just uses the Chrome operating system. Let's have a look here. Come down. Bob.
And your ISP, see your browsing history. Here's what you need to know. If you watch the short, this is the long version and gives you all the skinny on the inside.
Excellent. Excellent. Huey, artificial intelligence.
Yeah, the venture capital, where they fund many of the new AI tools that are out there, the funding plunged globally in the first half, despite the AI frenzy. And I think where this is going to lead to is all of those companies that are coming out with AI, uh, text to image, text to text, and all the other things that you can get that are AI. They need a lot of money to get started, and they need a lot of money to run. And so most of them are getting money from venture capitalists. I've posted, I think, on my Facebook page, a list of a few of them where they're getting thousands, if not millions, of dollars in venture capitalism, venture capitalists funding them. And if the money's going to kind of dry up, a lot of those places, a lot of those tools are just going to go away.
Exactly.
Or they're going to buy each other, one or the other.
There'll be a merging of the marketplace.
Yeah.
Google system updates. What's this about, Huey?
Yeah, I never realized that apparently XDA is one of the websites I follow. And apparently there is a Google system update every month. And this was the one for July, and they improved some things in the Google systems. And this article just talks about what they are.
Okay. Now, this looks like a good Amazon Prime device that we should have bought. What should we bought this on Prime days, or what's this about?
I think you're looking at the Chipotle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
What about-
restaurant. And what they're doing is they're creating a robot that will peel and core avocados, and so they don't need a person to do it. It'll be a lot faster and easier.
Now, that's something every kitchen should have. We should have that on Prime days, right?
Sure.
You know.
If you look at in the background, it says avocado.
All right, and meet Google's Bard AI chatbot. Has learned to talk.
Yeah, I haven't played with this part yet, but Google's Bard gained a handful of new features and functions, and one of them is that it will speak to.
Oh, okay. And organic matter on Mars. Was there life in Mars?
Yeah, they evidence of organic matter, but that doesn't mean that there would have been life. And this article kind of talks about that, but the fact that they found it, they're all excited about it.
Threads. Yes, we talked about Threads twice now.
Yeah,
and
I'm trying to learn enough about it to do a piece for Monday.
Yeah. Well, but we talked about last week. EU has banned it until they change their privacy policy. So,
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they had over 100 million subscribers in the first.
I
couple
know.
of
Yeah,
days.
yeah, they did. Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
everybody.
It's
Not everybody in
No,
this
not
world
everybody.
is smart.
yeah, and what they're saying is it was the fastest growing software ever.
Yeah, yeah. This just came out this morning. I put in there. This Bob was pointing out though that there was a problem with Patch Tuesday that just occurred. This is is riddled with a bug, and basically what this is, if you're using
If you're using an app to try to make Windows 11 un-11,
right,
then you may have a problem.
right.
Personally, if you're running Windows 11, why aren't you running Windows 11? Why do you want to make it Windows 10 or Windows 7? And basically, right now, they have a problem if you're using one of those AIs that change how Windows 11 functions as far as your start menu and some of the other things.
So there is some issues with the patch. If you are doing that, you may notice that. Again, I apologize. I have no idea who put this up here. BC Island named among the 21 most beautiful in the world. I have no idea who put that up there, so I'm not going to belabor that or go on. The other one that came out this morning was police warned seniors about a new version of the grandparent scam. And I think this is important to talk about. Bob, you've talked about this a lot on the show, is that most grandparents have this absolute devotion to their grandchildren. We all do, and we would do anything for them. And it is that particular emotion that falls prey to scam calling and the problems associated with this. And it's more difficult now because scammers can now impersonate voices. They can all sorts of things. It's very difficult when you think your grandson is on the line saying that they're in jail or they need money or they need help. Your first inclination is to help them, but you have to understand that you must verify this by another source. Verify. Bob always says verify before that, right, Bob? Bob, you're muted. Bob, you're muted.
Well, while he's coming back,
when you're doing anything that involves money, even when it's family, emotions have to take a back seat.
Right.
You have to think about it logically. I was actually approached on one of these, and I documented that in one of the Avast blog entries. So if you let emotions take over, you are going to get scammed, and it can be very, very costly.
Right.
Okay. So keep that in mind. The second it sounds like one of the kids or grandkids are in trouble and they need money, think before you act.
Right. And verify it with another source.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
And it's suggested that you have a safe word in your family, that word has to be in, if they are asking for money or they're in trouble, they have to use that safe word for you to know that it's real.
Yes, and I just thought I would bring this up because I know we talked a lot about it on our Monday show, but I think it's important to keep plugging that along, particularly for seniors. The big news that I found, and I hope Mike Ungerman's listening, because Mike uses Proton Mail, and he's done a talk on our Monday show about Proton Mail, and Proton has just released this week, brings its encrypted cloud storage service to desktop, and I think this is a big deal. And so you now have the ability to have, and they're a Swiss company. And if you look here, Proton Mail, a Swiss company behind privacy-focused online services, has brought its end-to-end encryption cloud storage service to desktop for the first time. Proton Drive is available for Windows from today, with Mac incarnation expected shortly. Been around since 2014. And this now, instead of using Google Drive or Microsoft's OneDrive, you have the option of using Proton Drive. I think this is really interesting, and interesting to see what Mike has to say about it. But this is, if you are concerned about security and privacy, particularly with services you're using, then this may be an option for you.
Ron,
Huey,
we've got a few.
Yeah, we should probably look at a few of those
Yeah.
comments before we keep going, eh?
Good point.
Let's see.
Vale says, I think adding Android apps to Windows via Linux is adding a security risk. Yeah, I agree. I don't see any point in it at all. But anyway,
Just before that, you have Mike's comment.
do we have a
One up? Yep.
I uninstalled the app that came with my teenage cheap watch. Yeah,
We covered that. Yeah.
We did that. We did that. Brian says, I have not installed the Windows 11 piece for Android, but I use another emulator called BlueStacks that does the same thing. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so there's another way to go about it. All right. Brian says, I use it for my outdoor cams. Wise thermostat. Wise does not have the native app for Windows, and some appliances only have Android or an iPhone or iPhone apps. Good point. I guess, yeah, if you're doing camera monitoring.
Wise does have an interface through your browser.
Right.
So you can watch all your cameras. I
Right.
quite often do live streams of my camera.
Yep, I do that too, Bob. That's right, with my Wise cameras. Yep, good point. Murray says, I hope they will really be able to solve the major problem of the bad guys using it to steal our money or waste billions of dollars spent on cybersecurity. Mike, I replaced my wife's 10-year-old Lenovo desktop with a new mini computer, much faster, more storage, and it only takes a little bit of space. Yeah,
That's the point.
that's the point. Murray says, I use Raspberry Pis for blocking ads, Plex server, and more. He's a techie sort of guy. Olive says, completed 5 likes. Yes, please hit the like button. That's always helps us with the algorithm. Mike says, Proton Drive has been in beta for over a year, and I have used it. Still doesn't map to a drive letter like pCloud or Dropbox. Mike, is it the one thing the article didn't say about cost is there must be a cost to Proton Drive. What is it still free, or is there a cost to that? It wasn't in the article. You'll probably get back to us on that. All right, let's get back to the articles. We're in the final stretch here. EV prices. I put this up there. EV prices down 20% compared to last year. So the supplies are coming up, prices are coming down, which is good news for people.
Is it because the supplies are going up, or that people aren't buying them?
Good point. People, certainly Ford trucks are having a big problem right now. There's lots of the people just aren't buying these, so the prices are coming down, which is good, and so that's good news.
20% off $1 million still makes it too expensive.
Yeah, right.
Ron, here's a note from Mike.
Drive
on
is
the
free,
Proton
more
Drive.
storage with a paid plan. Oh, okay. Mike says Proton Drive is free, more storage with a paid plan. So there you go. I think really, if you're concerned about security, Proton Drive is certainly a good option.
I like my P drive.
There you go. Now this was interesting. I don't know if you saw this, Bob, but Google One, of course, we've talked about Google One many times. This is a VPN, and in fact, it's included with Google One. So if you pay Google for Google One, then you get the VPN. Now they're switching from a broad to more local IP address, and this is a big change for them. And the reason they're doing this because it gives them more focused in the area you're in. If you're looking for restaurants or you're looking for services in your area and you're doing searches, then it sort of is going to be picking up that you're in that area. So
one more thing is your bank may allow you to use the VPN.
That's
if
right.
It's local, it won't if it's at a state.
Right. So it is switching, which I think will be a good thing. So if you are using a VPN, this is going to change. You won't have to do anything; it'll just automatically happen. And this isn't. So if you are interested in using and you do have Google One, then you should be aware that the Google's VPN is available, which is included in your plan. Ray, the good news and the bad news about the fold phones. Of course, Ray has a Flip. The Flips aren't going up that much in price, but the folds are. However, the interesting thing about this is these are highly popular and despite the cost, sell out almost in every country where they're released. It doesn't appear that money is a factor.
Now they were about $1,800 before the Samsung model. They've gone up?
Yeah.
Wow.
The new ones are going to be going up again, but I don't know. They just, and even Pixels Fold is.
I've said the Samsung Fold is probably very popular in the corporate world. I can see large corporations for their salespeople who are out in the field a lot. It's a perfect complement. Not carrying a laptop, a phone that opens up to a nice size screen. I don't see individuals using this for personal use.
It's a lot of money. Now, the other thing that does anyone, I do not use Adobe Firefly, but I would tell you that there's so many articles coming out now about it, and it's adding so many features. Do you guys use it, or it's an incredible
I'm not sure what it is.
I actually made a video on Adobe Firefly.
Right.
But
So
it's grown up quite a bit since I made that video.
it has.
Maybe it's time for a revisit.
Yeah.
Is it still free?
I can't tell you. I'll find out when I get in it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
If anyone's out there that uses it, this is man, they are really banging ahead with AI and the technology, and I just feel that I'm missing out on something here. You know, we've started being, there's enough articles about this that I'm thinking that, am I really missing the boat here?
Well, it's been incorporated in their paid products.
They're sweet.
So if you're using Adobe Acrobat or one of their other tools, this is incorporated in those art tools.
Right. Anyway, so my daughter was going to, I think I told you guys on the Monday show, my daughter was going to Victoria last week, and I said, well, what's your new phone number? She's got a local SIM card. She said, Dad, just call me on WhatsApp. And I said, okay. And you know, the article is talking about the world uses WhatsApp, right? It's, if you want to talk to anybody, if you know, and particularly in Europe and China, all over the world, WhatsApp, even Australia, WhatsApp is where people are communicating with, except on Tech for Senior and except for seniors, right? It is. So if you want to talk to your kids, you got to use WhatsApp. Oh, now this was very interesting. Did you guys see this? Is actually what is the right age to give your child a smartphone?
I have an answer to that, Ron.
Do you?
It depends on how quickly you want to get help with your smartphone.
Yeah, right. Well, that's true. But you know, it's interesting. Two things, anecdotal stuff from my family. My daughter in Australia, my grandson who's 12, got a smartphone and had some disastrous results with it. And basically they had to take it away, and his marks have come up and everything's done well. And you know, the young brain is so engrossed. So the little guy that's with me now, who, because you know, the big family reunion I have here is 6, and he's just started to get 20 minutes a day to play Minecraft. And when his mind is focused on that laptop or tablet, the house could burn down. It could burn down and around you, and you'd never know it. He's so engrossed in that. And the article goes on to say about the addictive potential of the young mind is so strong that you have to be very careful with this. And it's an interesting article because I'm sure it's a question a lot of parents have. Now, this is interesting. This is Google's head of AR quits, citing unstable commitment and vision. And the interesting article, but all as I'm going to say about this is that he, you know, I have always been concerned about the leadership of Google, and right from the top. And this is the head guy of AR and quit, and he has a lot of criticism about Google and the management of Google. So there's a lot of articles this last week on Sundar Pichai and his future with Google, and are they, you know, going down the right road, or are they really going down the wrong road? So I'm just going to leave that out there as a comment, but it's a very interesting article to reach.
Ron, we're getting time-wise. There's a couple of comments I'd like to show.
Okay, go ahead. Free version of Proton is limited to 1 gigabit. Yeah, so that's pretty small storage, eh?
Yeah.
Richard says, I'm using the Google One VPN. It works great. It does. It works great on your it works great on your mobile device too. You can put it on your phone. The problem is when you put it on your phone is sometimes it turns on by itself. I'm probably pushing a button and it's turning it on. I don't know how it turns on, but when it turns on, I get into trouble, so just remember that if you do put Google One on your phone and sometimes something isn't connecting, look and see if you're connected to your VPN, right? Did we get all those all the comments, Huey?
Yep. Yep.
We got a couple of minutes left. I just want to, here's our NUC. We talked about that. Android 14's fourth beta version is coming, and it's going to bring a cool feature called auto confirm unlock. So once you put your password in, you don't have to put enter, right? You just stick it in and boom, it's done. So it'll save you a step. We can talk about this interesting article. Gmail's new tools makes it easier to set up a meeting. That's true. I'm not sure if we're going to get to the article, but one of the things that's very interesting is that, and it's later on, and we're probably not going to get to the article, but there's a new change coming in Gmail, and you can schedule a calendar, an event right off your Gmail, right into your calendar, your Google Calendar. So if I'm sending a note to Bob and saying, hey, Bob, can you make this meeting? I can actually schedule a meeting right. There's a link right to your Google Calendar from Gmail. I don't have it yet, but it's being rolled out now across the United States, Canada, and around the world. So watch for that. I don't have it, but I'm going to do a video about it when it does come out. It's really, really cool. Yeah, this was the fellow who left. Margaret calls the company unstable. So interesting. He was a big guy at Google. So anyway, we'll talk interesting stuff. Mushroom.
The hour.
Is it top of the hour? We got to go. Darn it. We have so much fun. Time just never. Let's just stop sharing here. Stop sharing here. There we go. Thank you guys for coming. It's always a blast, and we never get through all the articles.
Yep. We could be here for a day.
Let's do this for 3 hours. Let's do a show for 3 hours.
How many people will still be there?
You'll have to raise our salary, Ron.
We'll be here, but who else?
All right. Well, anyway, thanks for coming, everyone. We'll see you same time, same place next week. And don't forget, Monday show, Huey's going to be emceeing it on Monday, and it's going to be a great show. And that will be on our Tech for Senior. We'll see everybody same time next week. Jolin says, thanks. Entering session. Take care. Thanks, Jolin. Talk soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye now.